This training video is on the customer tabs within the customer. So once we go into the customer, click on the two heads, go into your customer, we're going to discuss the tabs within this customer. So in customer setup, we went over what orders are, we went over what articles are, and part of the configuration tab. So we're going to cover the rest of these prompts within Windfall. So let's go under the inventory tab. Under this customer inventory tab, it's not displaying any inventory currently because whatever you have highlighted under orders is the inventory that you're viewing. So either what you can do is if you don't have any product assigned to this order yet, you can highlight the order that you have product assigned to and then click on the inventory tab and it'll display all the inventory. Or what you can do is you can just check this box that says show all orders and it'll display all the inventory for all the orders. Then if you want to see which order each piece is assigned to, if you have multiple inventory and multiple orders, is you can right click in the grid, go to other information and select order number, and then in this field, in this grid, it'll show you which order number those pieces are assigned to. So we'll work left to right, which I consistently do. So we're currently looking under the inventory tab for the hotel customer. Once again, remember everything is customer specific. So under the inventory tab, what we're viewing right now is inventory in warehouse. You also have the option to view inventory not in warehouse and all inventory. Remember consistently throughout the software, whatever is white is what is active and current. Whatever's in gray is out, inactive, or archived. And all inventory will show you the in inventory as well as the out inventory. Then we have components in warehouse. That shows you the components in warehouse, the components not in warehouse, and all components, same as the inventory. Here it shows current order. We have marked as all because it's showing all of our orders. The total quantity we have in the warehouse currently right now is 112 pieces. And the weight is 0 because we do not have any weight assigned to any of our pieces. Then it says right click on grid for more options. Like I've said before, consistently you can right click in the grid and select the fields you want to display in the grid. So if you don't want to see height, you can uncheck height and it no longer shows. And I've mentioned before in the other videos that this is all user specific for how you want to view your grid. And once again, you can move your columns around and set them to ascending or descending order by clicking on the header. Ascending is the arrow pointing up, clicking again is the arrow pointing down. Consistently throughout the software, again, whatever you have highlighted on is what you're viewing below. So Windfall is a software designed to show you asset management and inventory tracking. So what we're seeing here is what inventory we currently have in the warehouse. So this piece is highlighted and you can see this location tab right here is marked. So we're viewing this piece is in floor warehouse 1 location tag F04 with a quantity of 1. It also displays over here on the right hand side where it's located. If we work left to right, we can click on the detail tab here and we can see the detail about the piece we have highlighted. The tag number, the quantity, the article assigned to it, the category, the type, the description, and any other data field we had filled out on the scanner about this piece. Detail 2, let's find one with an image. Here under Detail 2, it'll display the image of the piece. You can also click on this to enlarge the image to view it larger. It says the attributes of the piece, because we renamed the attributes an article, that's why it says what it actually is, and any other data we assigned, cost center code, status, condition, any other data. Custom data is all the UDF fields. Custom data is where you look for any designated user-defined fields, so this will be all your UDFs. Exceptions, if you captured any exceptions on the scanner, they will show you down here. And like I said before, anything you do on the scanner, you can do in the interface. So if I wanted to add exceptions, I could just hit the browse and add exceptions through here. Attachments. What attachments are we have the capability to attach PDF documents to inventory pieces. And you can assign multiple PDF documents to your inventory items. So for example, if you ever wanted to scan the PO number, or the actual PO, scan that and attach it in a PDF form to the piece, you could. Or currently today in Windfall, we only allow one image per piece. So for example, if you wanted to have multiple images of a damaged piece, you could take pictures with a camera and download that into a PDF and attach it to the piece. It must be in PDF format, and you must save the PDF in the same place where you save your images. So if you forget where that is, you go to Configuration, Other, and here's your image path. So you must save your PDFs in the same place where you save your images, and you can attach them here by hitting Add, and it'll list any PDF documents here, and then they'll attach that way. History will display the history of the piece, so it shows you the date and time the piece came in, who brought it in, that it's an in with the quantity, and where it's located. Also, if you have a work order number assigned to it, it would display here with the warehouse code and so on and so forth. So this captures the history of the piece. You can view it here. So if you have ins, moves, outs, ins again, you can bring in this same tag number again only if you scan it out. So it would retain the history of that tag. Also, you can change the date and time of that tag by double-clicking here if you wanted to adjust the date and time. That's just clicking on the header. Also, if you wanted to manually change something about two items, for example, if I highlight these two pieces and I wanted to change the floor to 5 instead of 500, I would change that. Hit Update Selection to update both inventory pieces, and it's yellow, so I save. Once again, that Update Selection field is consistently throughout the software. Also, you can filter by stuff you want to see specifically in Windfall by clicking on Edit Grid Filter. And if I only wanted to see something specific in my list, and this is a nice feature once you have hundreds of inventory pieces and you want to filter them out, you can hit Edit Grid Filter, hit Add Filter Field, and maybe I only want to show a specific article. So if I select Show Me Article Number by hitting the Browse button equal to this specific article, I just want to see my CH100s, say OK, and hit Apply. It'll only show me the inventory with that article number assigned to it, so CH100, and it's showing me my total quantity is 1. So you can filter by stuff specifically, location, article tag, description, UDF, whatever you prefer. And you know the filtering is on when this is red and it says Grid Filter On, so you know that's when a filter's on. You can also turn that off by just clicking on the Grid Filter On and it turns it off. Also, you can find fast in here by clicking in the tag number field and on your computer hitting Control F, and that'll bring up a little find window where you can type in a tag number or something quickly and it'll find it for you. So here it is in green. It found it for me. So that's another little find fast feature you can use in the inventory tab. Also, I mentioned anything you can do on the scanner you can do in Windfall. So if I wanted to manually add inventory without doing any type of import through Excel, I can hit the white page to add new and then type in my tag number, assign my article. Yes, I want to update all the fields assigned to that article, which is category, type, and description. And then it's yellow, so I save. And then just remember, anytime, regardless if it's the scanner or the software, Windfall requires a location. So then we have to give the piece a location. So then we go to the Location tab, hit Add, select the location type, the warehouse code, and where we want to put it with the given quantity, and hit Save. And my activity code is in, and we say OK. And now I manually brought in an inventory piece. Another way to manually bring in the inventory piece is to use what we call this new feature called Quick Add. It's up in the upper left-hand corner next to the white page. So you hit Quick Add, and this is actually faster than hitting the white page, New. So the customer name is hotel. You can select what order number you want to assign it to. You type in the tag number. You select an article number if you have articles, the warehouse code, the location tag, the quantity, and any other data that you have attached, such as the UDFs or any scanner prompts. It'll show down here. So this is customer specific as well. So since I marked PO to prompt me, I fill out my PO. I don't have to, but I choose to because the more data you have, the better it is. The room number and the floor, and hit Add Inventory. And then I just added that piece into inventory. So that's a quick way to add inventory through the interface, quicker than hitting the white page to add new. We also have the template icon, just like we did in articles. Whatever you have highlighted will make a template of that piece. So it'll make another template of that piece. And if you don't want to use a tag number, you don't have to, but we're going to assign a tag, save, and add our location. So there's 3 ways to manually add inventory into Windfall, and those are the 3 ways. So you'll consistently work in the inventory tab the most frequent, because that's where all your data is stored, is in the inventory tab in Windfall. So just remember, anything down in the transaction maintenance is technically not all the way into Windfall until it is in the inventory tab to show. You can also take inventory out or move inventory from this tab by right-clicking on the piece and select Move Inventory to New Customer or Order. You can move it to maybe you scanned it into the wrong customer or wrong order number. So you can move it to the correct customer and the correct order. Inventory successfully moved to Customer Hotel Order Tower C. You can also highlight, right-click, and move selected inventory to new location. So you can move the inventory through the interface as well. So I want to move this inventory to this floor space 7. So now I just moved that piece. And if I look into the history tab for that piece, I can see on this date and time, this person brought in one piece to this location, and this date and time, this person moved that inventory piece to that location. So that's how you manually move inventory through the interface. You can also take inventory out through the interface without the scanner by right-clicking and move selected inventory out of warehouse. So you select what type of out is it? Is it a third-party carrier? A bill of lading? Is it assigned to a bill of lading? A customer location? You're sending it to a customer location. It's disposal, miscellaneous, not found, or trailer. So you select one of those. I'll select bill of lading. And then location out, what's my bill of lading number that it is going out on? And the activity is out. Now, it says down here a little checkbox that says move all. You can uncheck that and only move a certain quantity out. So if it's a piece, tagged piece with a quantity attached, or if it's a quantity count with an article and no tag, maybe you only want to move or take out a certain amount of quantity, not the whole quantity. You can uncheck that and select how many you want to move out. So then you say OK. And now that piece has gone out. So if you want to view inventory not in warehouse, we'll see all the inventory not in the warehouse. So that piece we just moved out here is highlighted, and down in history we can see that it went out. One piece went out on this bill of lading number. So now I can go to inventory in warehouse. So that is how you use the inventory screen. We went over the article tab. Incoming inventory is mainly used for the record storage process, so you don't have to worry about this tab unless you're doing record storage. Work orders we'll cover in the work order training video. The information tab we covered in customer setup. Cost centers. What cost centers are, it is typically used in record storage, but you can use it in any type of process to basically group inventory or filter out inventory. So you can assign inventory to given cost centers. For example, I'll hit white page to add new, and maybe my cost center code is HR, and the division is human relations. Department, human relations. Unit, HR. And then it's yellow, so I save. So if I ever wanted to assign cost center codes to pieces, I would go into the configuration tab, check cost center code as a field to collect, and cost center codes must be created prior to receiving product against them. So when you're scanning them in, you can assign the given cost center code that was created in Windfall. So you can assign it a cost center code, and you have to select from one of the codes listed that you've created prior. So then in the inventory tab, when you're viewing the inventory under detail 2, you'll view what cost center certain inventory pieces are assigned to. So I can run reports based on show me the inventory only assigned to cost center HR, show me only the inventory assigned to cost center accounting, and so on and so forth. Anyway, it's a good tool to just use to separate and group your inventory maybe by sections. There could be all different kinds. It doesn't have to be within your company. It could be the company you're collecting the data for. Also, cost center codes are a good way to filter out inventory when your customer's viewing inventory online on the web. So you could have your customer only have the capability to view certain cost center codes. So that's a nice feature as well. Configuration tab, we went over the inventory scanner prompts. We also have component scanner prompts. And once again, components are typically used in record storage process, but you can also use them without record storage. What components are they're tagged items that belong to another tagged item. It's like a parent-child relationship. So for example, if you're not using it in record storage, you could use it this way. For example, so you have a large machine in your warehouse, and it's serialized. And that machine has parts to it that are also serialized. And you need to capture all the data of the machine as well as the parts. But you want to keep them assigned together. You want them in the same location, and you don't want them separated throughout the warehouse. You want to know that they all go together. So what you do is you scan in the machine as a regular inventory in, and then you scan all the parts of the machine as components. So what you would do is you'd scan in the machine, give it a tag and a location such as floor 02, scan that in first, and then you would scan the pieces of the machine as components. So then you would do a component in, sticker the part of the machine, capture all the data for it. So whatever you've scanned are checked under scanner prompts for components such as description, serial number, whatever fields you need. And then the location of the component is actually the tag number of the machine. So this option is, you can use this as long as all the pieces stay together in the same location in the warehouse. And that's how you just keep them grouped together so you know they belong together. You can move components in and out of the warehouse without the machine. But if you scan the machine out of the warehouse, all the components go with it as well. So you just want to keep that in mind when you're basing on the decision to use components or not. Just remember that if the machine goes out, all the components go out with it. So if that's an option you want to use, you're more than welcome to. Components have all the same scanner prompts and data collection as inventory. It's just, it sticks with the inventory piece. Attribute labels we went over. Attribute labels are assigned to articles. Work order disclaimer. What this option is when you create work orders, you can put a disclaimer on the bottom for all work orders for this customer. So if you wanted to have something on the bottom that said no longer liable for inventory, you could have some sort of disclaimer appear on the bottom of all your work orders. Under other, we have our image path set. That's where we set our image path. And we also have our work order delivery information option. And we'll go over this, and this is covered in the outbound work order video. The last tab within the customer is called Web Administration. What this purpose and this option is used for is if your company, say your company's asset controls, and you're based in St. Louis, and then you have another company called Asset Controls in Iowa, and you both share the same customer. Well, the customer doesn't want to go to two different websites to view their inventory, such as the Iowa website as well as the St. Louis website. So what you could do is, under Web Administration, is put in the server settings for the other asset controls in Iowa, and all of the information will sync to one website. So the customer only has to go to one website to view all their inventory. And just like I've said before, Windfall is customer specific, so the only information that would go out to the website would be this hotel customer. That way your customer doesn't have to go to Iowa's website as well as St. Louis's website to view their inventory. They can just go to whichever website has the settings. So these are all the tabs under the customer in Windfall. And just remember that all these tabs, any work you do within these tabs, are just for this customer hotel. The software is customer specific, so anything you do under these tabs in Windfall is for this customer hotel. This concludes the customer tabs for Windfall.